Hey there, Scott Sharkey here again, and this is some Anne McCaffrey shit going down right here. Taking a quick look at Minecraft 1.9 pre-release number 4, and one of the things that is sort of unofficially added are dragons, which are really messing with my frame rate. Now, those aren't actually utilized in the game yet. They don't really do much besides look awesome and fly around and devastate the countryside, as you can see here. You can't hurt them, and you can't ride them, so I'm sorry, no pern here. And also, they're not supposed to show up in the actual real-world part of the game. These things appear in the other new edition, which is the end. There is a little hack that you can do with the jar file if you really want to play with these. If you just search for how to get ender dragons, I think the first thing that should come up would be the thread on the Minecraft forums about how to do that. So anyway, yeah, these are the latest edition, and they are really attractive. I mean, even if they're not quite doing anything yet. So that's a big one. Also, you may have caught this in the last pre-release, but Ender Eyes actually have a purpose now. If you throw them, they will float over here and inform you of the location of the nearest stronghold. So that's actually pretty handy. I'm not actually going to follow this one. I found another one earlier. Also, I kind of like just coasting around, so I'm going to leave my dragon cloud behind. Also interesting, this might help to clarify why these things don't appear in your actual, well, your primary world. They show up in the end, but because they destroy everything that they touch, just sort of as a consequence of existing. So, yeah, if you go way underground here, for no particular reason, it just sounds like fun. Whoa, hello skeletons. Hey, I found a dungeon. Nice one. Anyway, just summoned a dragon, and yep, he made his escape. Come on. Let me fly. There we go. So yeah, dragons, no respect for property. Also, I'm going to fly over here. This might take me a minute, so I'm just going to skip ahead. Hang on. Alright, here we are. I've been following my trail of Ender Eyes for a little while, and they seem to have led me over here, which should be the entrance to a stronghold. There we go. Strongholds don't actually have entrances. These just sort of bring you to the general vicinity, and then, yeah, I'm wasting Ender Eyes because I'm in creative mode. Who cares? So, once you dig your way into them, unless they actually are exposed on the surface, because that happens sometimes. If you haven't seen one of these before, they actually are pretty neat, and they're not as rare anymore. They used to be just one per world, and now they are, I think, potentially unlimited. So, yeah. They also added loot to these things, so you will occasionally find chests lying around that have some goodies in them. Yeah, so pretty typical stuff. And yeah, they have libraries, which are pretty classy, I suppose. But what you're really looking for is a gate to the end, which not every stronghold seems to have them. They are usually guarded by a spawner with silverfish, so that can become a bumblebang pretty quick. So you get this thing, which you slot these creepy little Ender Eyes into, and, like you might imagine, it's supposed to do something. Now, the end doesn't have a heck of a lot of point yet. It's just sort of there to show it to you. Bang! There we go. So, you get this neat little starfield effect. It's very parallaxy. So, we can drop down into the infinite here, entering the end. There we go. The killer awoke before dawn and put his boots on. So yeah, do bear in mind that the end is nowhere near what is actually going to be implemented for, whatever that turns out to be. This is the beginning of the end, I suppose, if you want to look at it that way. So yeah, it's this place, which is a featureless plane made out of this stuff, which, if you're not playing creative, is actually really hard to break, and all it drops is cobble. So that's nothing too special. It looks like sponge, but it's not. And of course, you might notice that is very populated by Endermen. So I guess bring a pumpkin hat if you end up here. Also just covered in these spooky black obsidian obelisks, which unfortunately don't seem to have anything in them. I was hoping maybe they were stuffed with jelly or something, but they're not. So yeah, this also isn't an infinite space to explore. It does have edges, or it sort of comes apart. It's a lot cooler when it's not loading chunks, but This should give you a general idea of what this thing resembles. Now, the other thing that happened in this update is you might have noticed the moon and sun are now round, and the moon goes through phases. People don't like the moon and sun being round. They're really pissed off about that. Notch actually put up a poll so people could vote on whether or not they wanted it to be that way, or if they wanted a square moon and sun, and it seemed to be pretty evenly split the last time I looked, but he said he'd honor whatever the results are. So, other stuff in this update. Enchanting and potion making are now a pretty big deal. Potion making, not going to get into. You can find extensive guides all over for that. Enchanting is really neat, however. You can make an enchanting table that way. Use some obsidian and some diamonds. And you get this thing, which is really cool looking, actually. It sort of follows you as you walk around, closes up when you walk away. And that's your enchanting table. Other interesting thing about the enchanting table is it likes having friends. You don't want your enchanting book to be lonely. So if you stick a bunch of bookcases around it, a distance of about 1 block, this actually makes the whole enchanting thing more, well, effective, I suppose. You'll see all these letters flying out of the neighboring books. So I guess this is a vampire book. And hopefully it's not just taking the letters off the pages. That'll make those hard to read. So if you open this thing up and drop a weapon or a tool or a piece of armor in there, these are, well, written in the Galactic Standard Alphabet from Commander Keen, and it's just your basic character replacement cipher. And they're pretty random words. There's a lot of stuff in there. Klaatu, Barata, Nikto, that sort of shit. Also, you know, embiggen, other cromulent phrases. Also, I think Elder and Scrolls are in there, so Notch was being a little bit cheeky. So, some of these enchantments, the ones I was really impressed with were stuff you could put on your mining pick. There's one that makes it so you have a higher chance of getting more drops when you mine something. Some that make them less likely to lose durability. Stuff like that. It's all actually pretty neat. Also, in the last update, probably forgot about these jukeboxes because they've played a grand total of 2 records for the last year or so. But there are several new ones here, you can see. So C418 has been pretty busy. And some of them are actually pretty creepy. Yeah, totally appropriate for this kind of spooky spot. I really do like the music in this game. I was looking for my favorite toy. You'd think I would know exactly where it was on this list. So I'm just gonna listen to that tune and go make some friends with these guys. Hi guys. Staring contest champions. Ah! Oh, Endermen will pick up dynamite. That's good to know. I didn't think they messed with crafted things, but apparently they have an affinity for dynamite, so that's nice. Here, burn you little buggers. Oh, also potions are weaponized now. You can, if you combine them with gunpowder in a brewer, then now you can chuck them. Which makes a lot of sense in the case of things that directly... Whoa! Goodbye frame rate. So, yeah, new crater. I like to theorize that this is actually the moon we're on. That would be cool. So that means we might actually have moon dragons. Dragons on the moon. I stole that from a cartoon. So, pretty nifty stuff. Well, so long until next time, which will probably be in just a couple days. These things have been coming kind of fast. Later.